Thank you, everyone, for joining me today for Tools for Client Feedback, Testimonials, and Case Studies. I am Samantha Pointer, owner of Samantha Pointer Enterprises. I'm a certified automation service provider, and I help small business owners and CEOs automate the tedious. And today I just wanted to share with you all how to harness client feedback, testimonials, and how to automate that process. So it'll help you to get, more business because the best way to get more business is through a warm contact, and that's people you've already served. And I think this is an area that I, for one, neglect sometimes in asking for that testimonial. So I'm gonna cut my camera and we'll get started. So again, before we begin, you're gonna wanna mute. You can use reactions. You can ask questions. We'll have a time for question and answer at the end, but if you have a question while I'm presenting, please feel free to drop it in the chat and Stephanie can interrupt me and let me know since I won't be able to see the chat while I'm presenting. But I'll be happy to answer anything you want me to stop and go more in depth on. So, our agenda today is we're going to talk about why social proof matters, common struggles with getting feedback, tools that make the process simple and easy. Some of my favorites are VideoAsk and Bonjoro, and then how to ask without feeling salesy. We're going to talk about turning feedback into testimonials and case studies, and then storing and reusing your social proof. Um, and then I'll talk to you about next steps and how to contact me. And again, we'll have a question and answer at the end. And plus, I'll be talking about my love for Novo. So let's talk about why social proof matters. So 92% of consumers trust peer recommendation over ads. I You can see it all over Facebook. People ask, and they're asking their peers all the time, "Who do you recommend for this? Who do you recommend for that service? Who you recommend?" You know, you see it all of the time, and that's because people trust other people more than seeing just your ad come across from your company. Testimonials and case studies also equal credibility and conversions. I know, just being an entrepreneur for over 25 years, and in my previous endeavors, I used to get asked for testimonials. I used to actually get asked for, like, can you provide me names and phone numbers? Because people wanted to actually talk to people to see if you were the right person for them. So that is why this is so incredibly important that you don't neglect this in your business. And then your clients' voices can sell better than you. Of course, you can sell because we're passionate about what we do, we're passionate about what we provide, but having your client really relay their experience from their point of view really makes it hit home more for a potential client that you might be uh, the right fit for them. So social proof is a growth engine for your business, and that's how you should think about it. So let's talk about some common struggles businesses face when it comes to client feedback and testimonials and all of those things. First, there's a hesitation that, asking feels salesy. There's a hesitation to ask because you might feel like you're bothering them. Like, I know early on in my business, I felt like I was being a bother to ask for a testimonial or to ask for feedback. Um, it's important, though, to remember that most clients appreciate being asked for their opinions, and it shows you value their input. You value their input. So you're not being a bother, you're not being salesy when you ask, hey, would you mind giving me a testimonial? 9 times out of 10, your clients are going to want to tell the world about you, especially if you provided a good service, a good experience, and all those things. So you got to change your mindset that you're being salesy or that you're bothering them if that's how you feel. Secondly, there's no consistent process in place. So many businesses lack a consistent process for collecting feedback. Because when you don't have a systematic approach, it's easy for feedback to come fragmented or forgotten. You want to think about developing a routine or set up a process for gathering and reviewing feedback. So if you don't have a process for this, you might remember with one client, hey, let me get this testimonial, especially if they bring it up to you like, hey, how can I give you a testimonial, or can I, but since you don't have a system in place, the next people you serve, you'll forget all about that. You'll forget, because you're off in the weeds of providing the service. And then when the service is done, since you don't have a process and since it's not a habit, you'll forget to ask for that testimonial. And then sometimes you might wait a long, long, long time to for that testimonial, and by then, the customer, it'll be harder to get that from them because they're so far removed from working with you. And then feedback gets lost or unused. So you might have a ton of testimonials, whether on paper, whether they sent you a note, whether it's on your social media channels or any of those things, but you forget about it and you're not using them. You're not utilizing them on your platforms. You're not utilizing them in your marketing materials. So if you kind of watch out for these common struggles, we can start to turn it around where we can fix these. And now you can get a process in place to have those testimonials flowing in for you, and it won't be such a struggle. So, how do you ask without awkwardness? Well, the number one secret to asking without being pushing is timing. Timing is key. You want to ask after a win or a successful delivery. Again, you don't want to wait around for months after, because they're not in that same headspace and excitement and momentum of when you've delivered, and everybody's in a like a great place and like, oh, I'm seeing results, oh, I want to share. That's the time. So timing is very key. You want to make sure, again, that you have systems in place that you can ask for it right after you um, deliver your service. And it doesn't matter if you sell a product, this could be done by an automated sequence where after a set amount of time, you send out an email asking, or it could be after, if you like provide courses or something like that, after they finish the course, it could be baked in at the very end where they provide feedback and a testimonial there. So again, timing is key. You want to make sure that you're asking for this right after the service, right after a win. And even if you have like retainer clients, you don't have to wait to the very end. You can ask for a testimonial when you hit key milestones. That is another, excuse me, that is another way to capture testimonials in a timely fashion. And then you're going to want to frame it around their success and not your need. So instead of you saying, hey, can you give me a testimonial? You can say something like, I'd love to share your success story. Can you tell me what things were like before, what changed after we worked together, and the results you're seeing now? You definitely want to make it easy for them to answer and them to really reflect on their success. And this not only helps them, but it helps you because you're putting them in the mind frame of, hey, this is the feeling I had around this. And this is before it was terrible. But now, after working with such and such, things are running smoothly. So you want to, when you're asking, don't just say, hey, can you give me a testimonial? Really ask with the intention and let them know, hey, I want to share your stories with others that this will help. And then you want to provide a clear structure. So, problem, solution, results. This gives them a simple framework that makes writing or recording easier and keeps their answers focused. And when I show you, when we do demo in a minute, I'm going to show you some of the questions I ask on one of my testimonial forms uh, that that helps them answer the questions that would help someone else trying to buy my service, right? So again, don't just have a bunch of free form where they can answer, because I think that intimidates a lot of clients. It's like they hit a a writer's block and don't know what to say, and then they fall into perfectionism. Well, I want to get it right, and then the next thing you know, you don't have a testimonial yet. And I've had that to happen before, with clients who wanted to give me a testimonial but didn't know what to say or how I wanted it to, flow. And so when you provide a framework and some questions, some prompts for them, that will help you get a testimonial quicker. So let's talk about some of the tools you can use to make collecting easier, to automate the process, and to really up level your testimonials, right? So my two favorite tools to use for this is VideoAsk and Bonjoro. So they're both of like VideoAsk captures testimonials through personalized video prompts. And just because these are video, like you can record video, both of them also have an option for you to, if your client doesn't want to be on camera, they can leave text. They can write a text testimonial for you too. So having that flexibility, I love about these two um, platforms. So in Bonjoro is the same, like VideoAsk, you can send a quick video message to request feedback. And let's see. So automation ensures consistent ask and reminders. Even the tool Fathom, which is a note taker that I use when I'm doing client meetings, I'm able to capture feedback even while I'm in a call with a client, which is great. It's a great way to grab little snippets, and I have a workflow where once I capture that, it sends me a Slack message with that piece of information. So that's again a way to automate the process. And so now I'm going to show you a little inside of Bonjoro and VideoAsk and how I have testimonials set up on my website. So bear with me. So I hope you can see this tab. This is inside of Bonjoro. Again, with Bonjoro, you can capture video messaging just like VideoAsk. Uh, you can do all type of things, and it has case studies too. So inside of here, I'll go to my request. This is one I set up. And if I go in and edit, you can see I can have an intro. So where I put this link is in an email after service where a client can click it and get started, right? So there's an intro. I just type my intro message. I give them some instructions, which is nice. Uh, and then I get into the questions. So, and I keep the questions very brief. So, 5 questions max. You can have less. I wouldn't ask a ton of questions, but some of the questions are: what challenges or frustrations were you experiencing before working with me? What led you to choose me for your automation needs? What was your experience like working with me? And what results have you seen since we implemented this solution? And then on the fifth question, if they want to share something else that I didn't ask, that's the time that they can share that if they want to. And then, of course, you can brand this. You can, I have a consent at the end so they can check it so I can actually use this, their testimonial, which is super important. You just don't want to assume that when people tell you stuff that you can just use it. So you definitely want to have the consent. And so yeah, this is how I use it. And I'm going to show you how I have this on my website. So on my website, I have a whole testimonial page. And I'll tell you when we get to the portion, we'll talk about reuse. But this is one of the ways I've captured and reused testimonials on my website. So when someone asks, hey, do you have any testimonials? This is where I send them. But if we go down to the bottom, I have an embed of Bonjoro of one of my clients and um, of one of my clients. And this is where you can see they didn't want to do a video, so they did text. And if you the great thing about Bonjoro is if you want to just have like if you want to just showcase one answer that they gave, you can do that. It's very, very flexible. I also offer a way on my website for any clients to leave a testimonial right here and it'll show up here. Uh, so that is just one of the ways that I am utilizing this on my website. Then we have VideoAsk. So VideoAsk is another way to capture client testimonials. They have templates that you can use so you're not starting from scratch. If that's a problem for you, you're not going to be starting from scratch. So you can just use one of their templates and go from there. So with their video testimonial template, you would do the same thing. So instead, where you saw in Bonjoro, where I'm asking them via text, I can record a video asking them the same thing, like, hey, why did you start working with me? What challenges? And every time they answer, which they can answer by text, video, or text or video, they can go ahead and answer that. Let's see if I can preview this. So they can either write something or they can send a video. And again, you can record yourself asking them this, and this makes it more personable when they see a video of you talking to them, right? So again, they're not forced to do a video because again, a lot of clients don't like to be on video, but you're giving them a way to capture that information, right? Let me go back here. And so With VideoAsk, you can also embed into your website. You can share a link in your emails, in your social media post. Either one of those tools, you can do that and get client feedback again right after a win, right after a milestone, right after service delivery. And again, if you do courses or have a membership, I would actually have this embedded into like the end of course lesson, or if you want to like see how they're progressing and get feedback that way that you can utilize as a testimonial, you can even drop it halfway in between finishing. So that's another powerful way to speak to, even after just a couple of lessons or even after a couple of months in this program, this is how it's helping me so far. So that is all the ways that these two tools can help you. What I also love about VideoAsk and Bonjoro, they both have apps that can go on your phone. So if you're out and about, you can answer people directly. You can thank people directly. You can deploy it, grab your link on the go when you're out networking, when you're at a conference, any of those things. So, and they have tons of integration. So it integrates with most CRMs, email management systems, Slack. You can use Zapier to do some fun things. I don't want to get too techy, but both of them you can utilize integrations to make them work with other tools that you use in your business, and that is always something that I look for when I am choosing software for not only my business but my client's business. So how do can we go from feedback to case studies? So think of testimonials as quick proof points. They're one or two sentences. Sometimes they might want to write a paragraph, but usually testimonials are like quick snippets that you can use. But a case study tells the full story of the problem solution results. Case studies go deeper. They let the potential client see themselves in your client's shoes. So, like that one testimonial that's on my site, I'm actually going to be turning that into a case study because there's more we can dive deep into. So, that is one way you can turn feedback that you get in testimonials a um, into a case study. And then you want to use your client's actual words for authenticity. That means typos and all. So when I get testimonials, I literally copy and paste just how they wrote it, unless you have someone where it's kind of incoherent. You might want to clean it up a bit. But for the most part, I leave it untouched because when your client is giving a testimonial, they are sharing like the pure emotion at the moment. So you want that to come across and keep that intact when you're using that on your site, in your marketing materials, on your landing pages, when your sales pages, any of those things. I also let's see. Okay, I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so yeah, you always want to make sure that you're not embellishing what your client said and you're keeping it just how they wrote it, right? And again, I would highly recommend you have at least two case studies from your testimonials, because to me, case studies are just a better way to get the point across than just a blurb, right? A testimonial blurb. A case study really walks them through your full process of how it is working with you. So definitely, if you don't have any case studies, uh, be sure that you start collecting. There's so many tools out there that can help you draft a case study. You can drop, even if you use like chat gpt or any of the ai, you can drop like, hey chat, this is what I did with such and such, and this is what I provided, and this is and have it actually structure you a case study for you if you're the type who kind of gets stuck on, oh, how should it be structured? How can I put all of our experience into words that would make sense. So that's one way you would want to utilize AI to help you bring your process and what you did for that client to life in a structured case study format that can then be used on your website or in your white papers or to anyone who asks. Let's talk about storing and reusing your feedback. The worst thing you can do is let those testimonials collect dust. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably have gotten letters and cards from clients that are sitting in a drawer somewhere and not realizing that, hey, I should be using that on my website, or I should be using that in my marketing materials uh, to share with everyone how my clients, work with me. And I'll say this too about when you share testimonials, unless the client, expressly said, hey, I don't care if you share my name. Um, Try to like do first name, last initial, or first initial, last name, or all initials, unless you're grabbing your testimonials from somewhere like Facebook or somewhere where their name is public anyway with that's attached to it. That's just a great way for people to keep things nice and tidy and not expose clients who don't want that type of exposure. So definitely keep that in mind. Let's see. So number one is you want to store your testimonials in a centralized spot. So when you're using these tools to collect testimonials, you want to get it either into your CRM or Airtable, because I love Airtable, and I have automations that capture the testimonials and put it there for me. Or if you have a folder on your Google Drive or your OneDrive, you just want a centralized spot so you're not hunting for testimonials when you need them, when you need to produce, when you're creating marketing material or sales pages, you don't want to have to figure out, okay, where are these testimonials at? So you want to have a centralized spot for them. Then you're going to want to organize your testimonials. So you want to tag by topic or service or your product, especially if you have a lot. Again, this is where having it in something like Airtable or a spreadsheet or something like that helps you to drill down and keep things by topic, service, or product and have it tagged. So, say if I'm working on a new product or a new service where I'm offering lug nuts. Well, I want to go search for the tag of all my lug nut testimonials. You see what I'm saying? So again, this will help you so you're not combing through hundreds or even 50 testimonials to get the ones you need. Okay. And then you think of this as a content library that works for you again and again when you have stuff tagged and organized in one centralized location. And then you want to repurpose your testimonials. So again, so they're not sitting there lost, not being utilized, you want to repurpose them against on your website and social media and proposals and email campaigns. I've had clients who, again, for their testimonial, collection, they use like Bonjoro or VideoAsk. One of my clients used it to capture her coaching clients' feedback after their sessions, and just to capture all of their wins. And then she kept it in an Airtable so she could pull that information when she would open up her membership, her coaching membership again. She was able to pull from that and repurpose that for selling. You can, one company that I love, Puzzle, for mapping, they use VideoAsk. And so he sent me, like, after I had been using it for a couple of months, I got an email like, "Hey, do you mind giving us a testimonial about your experiences so far?" And I provided a testimonial, and now that is on their website. So again, not only is that driving, people to me, but it's also building credibility for their product also because of my experience with it. Um, Video ads. Bonjoro. I was introduced to Bonjoro by for a membership program I signed up with, and this person used it to just welcome me into the community, asked me, what's my biggest problem right now that they could solve, so that whole, and then when I would answer, I got an immediate answer back from them, like it was personalized. And so you want to, again, utilize these technology tools to help you use your feedback, to use the testimonials in different ways. You just don't want to have them stuck on a shelf or in a drawer or stuck on your social media. One way, if you're on Alignable and you have recommendations, you can repurpose that on your site as testimonials. So you might have to data entry it by hand, depending on what type of website you have. But you can utilize, if you have Google My Business, Google reviews, Yelp reviews, any of those review sites, repurpose them on your website, embed them into your website. Again, I have a whole dedicated testimonial page just for that reason, so I can stick any testimonials I'm collecting on other platforms there. And that's one centralized place I can send people. So think about repurposing those LinkedIn recommendations, those Facebook reviews, the Alignable recommendations and reviews. Uh, Again, like I said, I've used my AI note taker to capture key moments in client calls where they're giving me praise about something, to utilize that and repurpose that into like marketing material, email campaigns, things of that nature. So think about all of the ways that you can repurpose that, just from that one collection point, how you can repurpose that in many ways. So now I want to talk about Novo, who is sponsoring this great education series you're on. Novo is a business checking account. I have been with them a few years now. I love them. It was easy for me to get set up with no monthly fees or minimal balance. I've utilized their invoicing tool. I have it integrated with a lot of my technology tools just so I can keep up with my financials and what's going on in my business. And I love its bookkeeping feature that it has. And again, I can't stress enough, having an app on your phone where I can immediately respond and see where my business stands at all times is just priceless to me. And then one of my most favorite features is the Novo Reserves, where you can allocate your funds. It's still the same account, but you're allocating it to different things. So I have a reserve for my taxes, for my owner's compensation, for expenses, and for my tithes. So that's how I utilize Novo reserves. And if you follow like the profit first system, you're gonna love Novo reserves because you're not gonna have to open up 5 different bank accounts to do the same thing. And plus, you can adjust the percentages. So as your business ebbs and flows, you might have a more profitable season, and then might have a down season. So you can play around with the percentages of allocation, and it's they make it easy to move money back into the available account if you need to do that also. So if you want to grab a free Novo account, you can just scan the QR code that you see on your screen, and you will be up and running. I have, you might have your in your state, in your city bank account, but it's always great to have another business checking account. So you're just not stuck with one thing. So I highly, highly recommend Novo. So let's recap today some things that we talked about. So, social proof is your most powerful marketing asset. Again, this is so overlooked. It's like low hanging fruit to get testimonials and have it's another way to have a salesperson, a 24/7 salesperson working for you, is those testimonials. Because even when you're asleep, those testimonials, those case studies are speaking for you, right? And tools like VideoAsk and Bonjoro simplify the ask. Even if you, and again, you can use these tools on the free plan, both of them on the free plan. Forgot to mention that to capture these testimonials. So there's no barrier to entry here. But use those type of tools and then automate that whole process so you're not chasing people down for testimonials. You literally just put a link or embed on your website, put a link in an email, put a link or embed in your course or membership platform. So you can always be collecting these testimonials without having to think about it yourself. And then having it automated place to put in that centralized location again, so you're not scrambling to see, oh, where did I collect this from, where can I find this. It's all in one place for you to utilize. And then we talked about timing and framing the matter. So you just don't want to say, hey, give me a testimonial. You want to frame it around their success, what they got out of it, and how you just want to share that with others so they can be a help to others who might, you know, need help making a decision on working with you, right? And then how crucial timing is. Again, you don't want to wait months after you've wrapped up with a client or, until a long-term client relationship ends. You want to, if you have like retainer clients or something like that, you want to ask for testimonials when you hit milestones. But if you have like one-off projects or short-term projects or courses or something like that, you're going to want to ask immediately after service delivery, immediately after course completion. This is the timing you want to utilize. And then you want to turn simple testimonials into powerful stories. Again, this is how your case studies come about. You have a structure. Utilize AI tools to help you make sense of everything you've done for that client and put it in a more structured format that you can then reuse, and repurpose on your website and your white papers and your marketing materials and your landing pages and things of that nature. And again, organize and reuse feedback across your business. If it's in one central location and it's organized, it's going to be easier for you to grab just the right testimonials you need for whatever project you're working on, whether that's to convince a client to work with you, whether that's to uh, get some for a new landing page or sales page or social media posts. I love seeing testimonial social media posts, especially on places like Instagram, because that just shows, like, oh, wow, that person had this great experience with this company. I should check them out. So again, think of all the places you can utilize it. And if you have it organized, it's easier for you to reuse across all your business. And so I have some resources for you. If you would like to, you're saying to yourself, man, I would love to do this, but I don't have time to set this up. I really don't know what's the best of those two are for me, or I don't know, or I have a special situation. I invite you to hop on a technology breakthrough call with me. It's free. And on this call, we'll talk about, what your business needs are and if I am a good fit to help you with that. I also have my technology audit starter kit. This is a do-it-yourself way to audit all your technology tools, how much you're paying for them, if you're using it, if you have any duplicates. It's a great way to organize your tech stack and to really figure out, am I using what I already have, or what is missing that could help my business go further. So that's what the technology audit starter kit is. It's self-paced. You get an Airtable and instructions on how to use it. And you also get a coupon if you want my eyes on it to do my full tech audit. And then if you want to try VideoAsk or Bonjoro, you can just scan the QR code and set up a free account on both of them. And again, everything I talked about today and showed you can be done on the free plan. The only thing with VideoAsk is on their free plan, you only have like 3 steps. So, but you shouldn't even need 3 steps. You're literally asking them a couple of questions. So there's ways to set that up to work for you if you just want to stay on the free plan. And again, both of them have apps that you can utilize on your phone. And yeah. And then if you want to reach out to me, talk to me, any of those things here, you can reach me at Samantha@organizingguru.com. You can go to my website, organizingguru.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn. And I'll tell you, in this week, I'm actually going to be launching a new VIP day with Austin here in the community. So if you'd like to hear more about that, definitely reach out to me on either of these channels, and I'll be happy to talk to you more about that. So I'm going to hop back over and see if we have any questions.
Hey, Samantha, thank you. That was fantastic and chock full. So I saw that Yolanda raised her hand. I did want to go to
Okay.
Walita's question.
Okay.
That is, how do you get testimonials before you get clients to get people to want to work with you if you're just getting started? Do you use case studies in that case?
Great question. So when you're just getting started, I remember when when I was an organizer and I was just getting started, I did a bunch of free work for friends and family just to get their testimonial in exchange for their testimonial. So that's one way you can get testimonials offered to a friend or a colleague, another, you know, anyone close to you, offer to perform a service for them to in exchange for their testimonial. That is a great way for those of you who don't, maybe you're just starting your business, maybe this is a new offer that you're testing out. That's where a lot of those beta programs come from, is you run it with a set group. In exchange from them paying for it, they're going to give you their feedback and testimonials that you can then use when you launch it live. Um, so I hope that answers that. And then, do you use case studies in that case? I would, um, if it's like a brand new and you're working through the process, that's a great way to uh, get a case study going, because you're capturing it all. Like, especially if it's a brand new service or something you haven't offered before, you're going to capture all the bumps and bruises and learning and pivoting you might have to do. So that makes an even more powerful case study, in my opinion, uh, when you're just learning, and then when you offer it again, it's even more polished, but you can at least have the case study. And again, case study is really just you, what was the problem, what was my solution to that, and what was their outcome. So it doesn't have to be pages of on pages of stuff. It could literally just be, this person came to me for to write, I'm gonna use you, Yolanda, to write a I don't know, a lead magnet, right? And they didn't know what to do. So we talked to these things, and I was able to provide them my service. And we were able to get out 3 pieces, and they got 1 client or 2 clients or 5 clients from it. That's a case study. So don't overthink it, and don't overcomplicate it, which we can all do at times. Okay. I hope that answered. And Yolanda, what is
Yes.
your question?
Well, it's more of a reflection. I was so grateful. This was chock full of sage advice and stuff that we can do right away. I was not familiar with the platform that you shared, so
Oh,
thank you
cool.
so much for that. Um, I'm a analog native, not a digital native,
Right.
and so I use a Google form,
Hmm.
um, and there's a lot of multiple choice and check boxes and that sort of thing, and there's minimal um, pull for the person doing the testimonial to write, because
Right.
some people have an aversion to
Hmm.
writing. So this application that you shared and all the ways that you showed us you can do this, just feels it takes a lot of the friction out.
Yes. Yes.
And it's not only did you show us how to take the friction out of our side as the business owner, but we can frame using that application or giving the testimonials, all the things you said. You showed us how to frame this for the person we're asking this um, favor
Yes.
from.
Yes. Yes.
And I mean, I went bananas when you were saying how you can, in your talking, you can say how this brings value for you, not just me. Like,
Right.
the world should know about this thing you just did.
Right.
Holy Moses, this is so cool.
And you can also offer them, like, hey, you can use it, especially depending on what type of business you're in.
Mhm.
They can use it on their platform too.
Yeah, when you
Especially if
shared
you
about
use
the
people as
therapist
affiliates and
capturing
stuff.
the wins, oh my gosh.
Yep, yep.
Oh my gosh. I wrote down like 6 people. I'm like, you have to get this.
Yeah.
Thank you, my dear.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for the question. And forms are great too. So Google Form, Airtable, if you want to use an Airtable form, that kills two birds with one stone. So not only can you have the questions, but it'll also populate with their name and everything and have everything built in. So that's another way. That's a bonus way if you want to use forms
Well, I'm
on
just
your
like, I feel like I just was born today. I didn't know. I know Airtable, but I don't know the functionality of it and that sort of
Yeah.
thing. I'm gonna be hard to live with. I'm gonna know 2 new things. 2 new things. I'm about to be a problem.
Thank you. Any other? Be great for a candle company. Yes, yes. Kelly says, I think these would be great for my candle company and PR agency. Exactly, exactly. Especially the PR agency for case studies. Yes. just showcasing the different, if you work with different industries, having it broke down by industry, just like when you go to a tech tool, they have case studies of different industries, and you usually go to the tab of what industry you're in because you want to know how does this look for me and the people I serve, so you can do the same exact thing. And I want y'all to also pay attention now when you're on different sites that have case studies, and it's usually software companies and stuff. See how they have their structured. You can definitely do the same thing. Oh, cool. Yes, yes. So capturing in let's see. Let me go. Let's see. In the wedding industry. I'm trying to think of all the different places, capture points you have there. Um, yeah, let's see. And then like the candle company, if you like send out emails after a purchase, I would say maybe a couple of weeks after someone's purchased your candle, you can send an automated email like, "Hey, how's that candle? Give me your feedback," right? And that's another way. I see companies doing that all the time of things I've purchased. There's like, "Hey, you bought this a couple of weeks. How's that working for you? Can you provide me some feedback on, what you like about it, blah, blah, blah." So again, those are ways, the timing, because I'm actually utilizing it. I haven't forgot about it and had it sitting on my shelf, any of those things. So yeah. So, for anything that y'all take away, I hope that y'all will like do this today. Like you can literally get this. Think of one person that you can get a testimonial from right now. Uh, for you, Walida, think of someone that you could provide your services for, because I don't know what you do. Uh, Provide your services for in exchange for a testimonial, even if bookkeeping, perfect. So if you have like past clients, if you don't have any clients, then is there a family member or a friend that you can do a simple bookkeeping like trial run in exchange for that testimonial? And I would keep it like a short stint. Don't like for the next 6 months or something like that. Like keep it a short period of time so you can get that and get the ball rolling. Cool, cool. You're welcome. Are there any more questions? So this replay will be up in a couple of days. You can always go to my YouTube channel. I post the replays there. I have a nice playlist of all my replays. And I also will put resources and things that I talked about there too. And if you want to reach out to me about anything else, I would be happy. I love to utilize technology as an employee in your business and just new ways to make your life easier. Can you share how to remain connected again? Sure. Let me go over here. I'm going to share. Hold on. There you go. And I'm in the Novo community too, so you can hit me up there as well. But yeah, this is
shared links in the chat as well. Just want to
yeah,
thank you so much, Samantha. As folks have said already, this is so full of excellent information that I know we can start using and close out the year strong, look back on what we've accomplished, and stay in a flow of appreciation and, spreading awareness of both like
yes,
what you have to offer and like how open and accessible you are as someone to work with.
yes,
So yeah, thank you so much, y'all, for tuning in, being engaged. Definitely go ahead and stay connected with Samantha for more and for your particular questions.
yes,
One of the things I know you always emphasize, Samantha, is that automation is about what you are optimizing, and it's
mhm,
not a one size fits all thing. So
right.
y'all be sure to bring your vision and any questions, all those good stuff to Samantha in the next couple days. Or I was going to say, Samantha, when will we be able to get the replay if y'all need to go back and rewatch?
The replay will be up tonight. 'Cause
Amazing. Okay.
I'll upload it. So watch my YouTube channel, subscribe, and you'll get the notification.
All right. Perfect.
Thank
Thank you.
you, Kelly, Yolanda, Walida, Stephanie. Thanks for joining me, and I hope y'all have a great rest of the day.